Good morning and welcome to New South Wales Health's Covid-19 update for Saturday the 24th of April 2021. New South Wales recorded no new locally acquired cases of Covid-19 in the 24 hours to 8 p.m. last night. One new case was acquired overseas in the same period, bringing the total number of cases in New South Wales since the beginning of the pandemic to 5,230. 8,568 tests were reported to 8 p.m. last night, compared with 9,986 in the previous 24 hours. 2,933 Covid-19 vaccines were administered by New South Wales Health in the 24 hours to 8 p.m. last night. This brings the total number of vaccines administered by New South Wales Health to 191,745. Western Australia Health yesterday notified the public of a number of new close and casual contact venues associated with several recent cases of Covid-19 in the Perth and Peel regions. A full list of all venues of concern and associated public health advice is available on the WA Health website. Anyone in New South Wales who has been in the Perth or Peel region since the 17th of April should check regularly for updates. Victoria Health has also announced venues of concern associated with the Western Australian outbreak. If you've been to Melbourne recently, please visit the Victoria Health website, and if you're at these places at the relevant times, please follow the associated health advice. If you are in New South Wales and you have attended any of these close and casual contact venues, please immediately self-isolate and call New South Wales Health on 1800 943 553. New South Wales Health thanks the people who have already called in to identify their exposure at these sites. In response to these cases, the WA government has announced a 3-day lockdown. People arriving in Sydney from Western Australia from 12:01 a.m. this morning must complete a declaration which confirms they have not attended a venue of concern. The declaration form is available on the Service New South Wales website. Anyone who has arrived in New South Wales since 12:01 this morning must also comply with the same stay-at-home restrictions that apply in the Perth and Peel areas, regardless of their current location. It is extremely important that we make every effort to avoid the introduction of the virus into the local community. New South Wales has been notified that fragments of the virus that causes Covid-19 have been detected in the sewage systems at Allambie Heights in Merimbula. The Allambie Heights Sewerage Network services about 83,400 people in the North Head catchment, which covers 17 suburbs from Frenchs Forest to Balgowlah to Curl. Merimbula Sewage Treatment Plant serves about 15,500 people on the south coast. These positive sewage results may indicate the presence of people who have recently recovered from Covid-19, as they can continue to shed the fragments of the virus for several weeks after recovery. However, New South Wales Health is concerned that they could signal undetected cases in the community and ask people in these areas to be alert for any cold-like symptoms that could signal Covid-19. If symptoms appear, please isolate and be tested immediately and remain in isolation until a negative result is received. There are more than 300 Covid-19 testing locations across New South Wales, many of which are open 7 days a week. To find your nearest clinic, visit our website or contact your GP. New South Wales Health urges everyone around the state to continue to take practical measures to stay COVID safe. This includes always using your QR codes to check into venues, staying at home and getting tested for Covid-19 if unwell, and practicing good hand hygiene. New South Wales Health can advise that of the 15 port botany workers who boarded the ship, the Inga Kosan, have been tested, and pleasingly all have returned negative Covid-19 test results. Investigations are also continuing as to how Covid-19 transmission occurred between return travellers. The travellers entered Australia on the 3rd of April on the same flight and subsequently stayed at adjacent rooms while in hotel quarantine at the Mercury Hotel in George Street in Sydney CBD. No further cases of transmission have been identified to date. New South Wales Health is treating 91 Covid-19 cases, one of whom is in intensive care. 98% of cases are being treated in non-acute out-of-hospital care, including return travellers in the special health accommodation. Thanks very much.